All right, so in this picture, we have 3 different muscle tissues. This is the slow muscle tissue that really activates, that you recruit when you're running at your slower paces. For me, that'd be like 10 to 9 minute mile pace, where my faster miles are around 6 minute mile. So these are the slow muscles. These muscles actually carry you a lot further and a lot more efficiently. But you need to learn to recruit these muscles in your training. And the only way to recruit these muscles is to running at their pace, which is sometimes you might notice that when you force yourself to run slower, you actually feel more exhausted and more tired and more uncomfortable. It's because you're recruiting muscles that are from the slower area where they start to be activated when you're running slower. So the point of the HOD training is to really recruit these muscles, which is the medium speed muscles, and lastly the fast muscle tissue. You really should be mainly utilizing the slow and medium muscle tissue when you're doing long distance running, such as the marathon. So when you train at slow speeds and slow heart rates, for example, so we're talking about the 75% of heart rate max, sometimes 60%, just like really slow running to build your base. What you're doing is you're building their capillary density around these muscles. So you see that these capillaries will begin wrapping around the muscle like this and building little smaller areas of density where they're delivering more ATP and oxygen to this muscle tissue. And you keep training this muscle tissue until your muscle capillary density is really, really high. And then you move on to the medium. You could build your fast and medium muscle tissue before your slow muscle tissue, which is what most of us have done as runners who do distances over 10K to half marathon to marathon, because we train faster, because it feels better to train faster. We really need to slow it down and recruit these muscles. These are the aerobic muscles that are going to carry you to your marathon PR. After these are done, building your capillary density, after 50-mile weeks of just putting in slow, easy miles, then you can begin building the capillary density for your medium speed muscles as these begin to be trained. But the most important muscles are actually these slower ones for this particular event, which is the marathon. And it'll also benefit you at the slower distances. Your fast muscle tissue will still be there. We know that you're capable of these high speeds. But to really train aerobically for the marathon, you're really looking at building capillary density for the slow and medium muscle tissues. These muscle tissues are going to take you the furthest and actually in a way the fastest, because you're not going to break down. You can maintain speed using recruiting slow and medium muscle tissues.